This is going to be how to install the Vivint Outdoor Camera Pro as a do-it-yourself project. So first, what you're going to want to do is make sure that you have one of these Outdoor Camera Pros. You can get one of these on eBay for less than what Vivint sells them for. You can typically get any. You can get the Gen 1, the Gen 2. I believe you can even get the Gen 3 now. Next, what you're going to need is Vivint Wi-Fi bridge. These sell for about $25 to $30 on eBay as well. And then next you're going to need some Cat5e cable, and then make sure that it's long enough for your installation. I bought 200 feet off of eBay, but you can really just get how much you really need for your installation project. For this demo, I'm going to be using that amount. The next thing you're going to need is a Jurist kit. I got one of these on Amazon. Don't remember how much it costed, but it wasn't that expensive. It was pretty budget friendly. So it comes with all these little bits, screwdriver, little extra bits that you probably won't need for this project, but it comes with it. Then the next thing you're going to need is a crimping tool and some RJ45. So this is the crimping tool, and then RJ45 caps here that you've got the connectors. These sleeves here are optional, but I don't personally use them when I install these cameras. Okay, so first what you're going to want to do is make sure that you have this kit here. You're going to grab this one right here that says T5. You're going to grab that and put it into here. Now that I've got that, I'm going to go ahead and grab the camera. And then you're going to have to go in here and be very, very, very careful when you do this, because these can strip quite easily. So make sure that you are using the T5 and not anything bigger or anything smaller, because even the T5 itself will get the screw stuck. So you want to make sure that you're using the absolute correct screw. Get this one out here. And there you go, it'll just come out like that. Make sure you don't lose a screw. We'll just set it in here. And then this back plate here will pop off like this. So now what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to grab your Cat5e cable. You're gonna grab your crimping tool. Once you have the crimping tool, you're going to find this little hole here, which has a little blade. So you're gonna stick it in there. You're gonna wanna do about that much, just so you have some wiggle room. Just gonna rub it a little bit. You don't wanna cut into the wire, so be careful when you're doing this. Once you see it kind of split, you just pull this off here, depending on how thick the actual plastic is, but as you see there, I got all of it out. Now what you're gonna do now is you're gonna see the back, the hole. You're gonna stick all of these colors inside this little hole here. And you don't have to necessarily have this white, but you can have it in there if you want. Just make sure it doesn't come out through this part here. Now, once you have these wires in, the white, if you have a white one that isn't orange white, it will go right here where it says OW, which stands for orange white. You just put that in here, and that will lead you to the next tool. If you have got the Jurist kit, you'll have this little tool right here, and you just kind of put it in there. And you do have to be quite careful because they are delicate, so be careful when you're doing this. I've heard that some technicians will use like a little metal Phillips, but I've heard also from other technicians that will break the metal connectors that clamp onto the actual wires, so be careful if you want to use metal. I don't suggest using metal, but if you want to do that, you can definitely go ahead and try that yourself. Now I'm going to pause this while I do this because it might be a little time consuming, but eventually you'll get all of it in there. Once all of these are added into the metal connectors on the bracket, you can go ahead and put the camera on by sliding it on based on your camera model, and then inserting the screw. one note that I wanted to make, I'm not sure if you saw, but on my little colored wires that I installed for the Cat 5, it looks like when I got to brown, it didn't reach, and that's because I didn't give it enough length when I cut into the plastic. So make sure that when you're doing this, it's better to have more than less, so when you have more, you can cut the excess off. Now let's get that screw back. For this sake, since I'm actually going to be installing it, I'm just going to put it in barely, not with a screw, because the screw does get stripped, so I'm just going to stick it in there for now. Okay, once that's in there, you're going to go ahead and prep the bridge, which will power the camera over power over Ethernet, and then we're gonna get the RJ45 connector on the other side so that can connect to the bridge. So now let's go ahead and plug in the bridge, and now let's add the end RJ45 connector. For this side, you're just going to want to grab the crimping tool again and just do about that much. Shouldn't need that much. See how much I put? You'll probably actually have excess after this too, so. Okay, perfect. So then you're going to want to pull up the wiring diagram for how to do the RJ45. Make sure that you're looking for the wiring diagram for RJ45B. It's not A, but Vivint uses B, so make sure you're using that one. I'll try and put a link to the description so you guys can see the diagram if you need to, but for me, I already know it, so I'm just gonna do that real quick. Okay, so you can go ahead and take a look at mine, or just look it up. It's normally RJ45B, that's what I look up. And then it'll show you, remember, if you have this one from eBay, the orange white will just be white, and then the rest are the same. So you'll get the gist of it. And once you do it, make sure that you put these in with the metal copper little things facing up, and make sure that you're looking at them before you crimp, because they can move around when you put it in. So now I'm just gonna confirm. Looks like everything went in fine. Just gonna move it around though a little bit. Okay, so I had to cut some of the colors off because some of the sleeve has to get in there, so when you crimp it, it doesn't come off, but I did get the colors correct. I just had to take it out and take some of the excess off. Now once you do that, you're gonna grab your crimping tool, and depending on which crimping tool you get, you just put it in here. Make sure that it comes out the other side. You're just gonna go in here until you hear that little click. Depending on which one you have, it may or may not click. Mine does click. You can crimp it a few times if you want to make. Okay, now once you're crimped, you're gonna go ahead and put it inside the little hole inside of the bridge, or the Ethernet port. Once you put it in the Ethernet port, the camera should power up. I'll do spinning. Now this part is important. If you bought it brand new or factory reset, then it will say ready to connect. If it's used and the previous owner didn't factory reset it and just gave it to you, it will do what it just did now, and it will just spin and then go blank. What you're gonna want to do next, if that's the case for you and it's used and you need to factory reset it, is you're gonna grab a needle and some pliers, put it in here, and then at the top of the camera, you'll see a little pinhole. Now, I'm gonna try and do this on video, but you're gonna hold it until it says release now to factory reset.
Release now to reboot. now to factory reset. Resetting camera.
Okay.
Ready to connect.
Now, once it's ready to connect, you're gonna come over to the bridge and you're gonna hold the reset button. Now, see it blinking? You're gonna count to 10. Then let go, and then it'll do its whole little process. The camera will reboot since the bridge is factory resetting. After the camera comes back on and says ready to connect, we're gonna jump onto the next step of connecting to the panel. Once it says it's ready to connect, we're gonna jump onto the panel to install it on the panel. And you're gonna go to the 3 dots or the settings gear up at the top if you have the new home view. And then you're gonna go to support.vivint.com on a mobile device and open up a chat window and ask them to unlock your installer toolbox to add a few devices. You shouldn't need to explain anything else. Once that's done, you're gonna click on software version and you're gonna enter 2203. Then you're gonna go to smart home devices, cameras, and once you're in cameras, you're gonna click on add camera, Wi-Fi connect, click add. And now I found my bridge. I'm gonna click on add again, and it will configure the device. It may reboot in the process, but that's completely normal. Just give it a few seconds, and once the camera reboots, it may say ready to connect again, but that's completely normal. It will eventually connect.
Ready to connect. Camera found. Now connecting to your Vivint system. Congratulations, your camera is now ready.
Perfect. So now, once the camera says it's ready, you can go into the camera details, and then you can click on the name, camera 1, and then you can change this to pretty much anything you want. You can also change this later in the app as well, should you want to change it. And click on done, and that's all there is to it. One thing you do want to check is, we're going to back out of this. So let's say I'm outside of the installer toolbox. We're going to go to devices, and then we're going to go to cameras. Click on the one you just added now. And then you're going to click on camera details. Once you click on camera details, you want to make sure that the RSSI is below 70. If it's above 70, it's not great, and you want to make sure that you want to contact your ISP to see what's going on with your internet, because if it's above 70, it's not really that great. The recommended is 70, but you know, it should be around 60 typically. That's what I'll see. I meant to say negative 70 is the recommended, but I typically see negative 60. But if it's lower than that, I would contact your internet service provider to see what's going on. But anything higher, close to 0, is the best. Camera's ready. You'll see it in your camera menu. Now you'll see the camera here. It's the same view. You can hold down to talk. Testing. It does echo quite a lot though, since I am in the same room. But now that you've got that installed, you can set all the deter features up in the app, and that's pretty much the installation of that Vivint Outdoor Camera Pro. Now, if you want to get this installed into your house, you can call somebody to either do that for you, or if you're handy, you can do that yourself. You can pretty much take out the wiring and rewire everything. Now that the bridge and camera are connected to the panel, it will remember it regardless of what type of wire is connected to it. You can go ahead and do that yourself and install it yourself. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below. I know this video is kind of long and kind of scattered, so if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm here to answer.